Well, actually, I had another, you kind of touched on it a little bit, about the current state of photography, film versus digital, pro versus iPhone. Do you have any opinions on?
No, I mean, there was a while back that I was very analog and very film, but you also have to look at how things change, and photography truly, if you break down photography, what it is, it's really capturing light, whether it be on film or be on a digital square, and it's capturing a moment in time. And to me, photography is that, and that's why the galleries fall in one instant. It's always been about capturing that one moment, and that to me is what photography is. The current state of photography, where it's actually melding into video because all these cameras are now shooting video, I'm more concerned now about the loss of the still image over the actual loss of whether it's film or not. There will always be film. There will always be niche markets, just like there are still books. Books did not disappear when the television came around.
When the Kindle came out.
Well, no, but if you think about every major change in our society when it comes to communication. So first, we had newspapers, and then radio. Well, newspapers didn't die because of radio. And then we had radio, and then TV. Oh, radio's going to die. Well, it didn't die. It still exists. It's not like it was. But, so then TVs, and then movies, and you had TVs and movies, and people were like, oh, what's it going to do to each other? And then cable happened, and oh, what's going to happen to the movies? Well, movies still exist. Cable TV exists in abundance.
There's a room for it all.
And I know right now newspapers are going through this whole thing with newspapers are dying, what are we going to do? But I always think that there's always going to be a newspaper type format, or it evolves into the electronic newspaper. And so I think photography will evolve. I think there will always be film. I always think there will be a still image. And there's always going to be video. Right now, everything is just in such a state of flux, and it just keeps melding back into each other. Nobody knows which way to go and which way they should do things. And so it's kind of fun. It's kind of scary. It's scary to think that a company like Kodak might actually go out of business because they just had bad business practices. It's not that they had bad products, they just didn't really understand what was going on, but I have hope because, there are things like, Polaroid disappeared, but there's a new company making film now for Polaroid cameras. They decided, you know what, it's going to stay. We're going to make it stay. We'll do whatever we have to do. It's a niche. And that's why I think photography will happen as far as film and stuff go. It will become a niche item. But what will be great about it is that those people who do use film and do use traditional processes, it'll make their work more valuable. Mm-hmm. And when you buy a photograph based on that, then a photograph that's just digitally made and reproduced very quickly in a digital printer, it changes the value. It changes the whole value scheme of everything. So that's kind of fun and interesting, because then there will be those photographers who really still practice the craft of the chemical and the process. That's where you'll start seeing the value, just like someone who paints as compared to someone who makes lithographs. Mm-hmm. The craft of the painter over the craft of the person who just reproduces something in mass quantities. So it's all changing. It's all kind of fun, but it's kind of cool. It's scary. It's fun.